Welcome to the Tracker Money Show. My name's Tom, and in this video, I'll be going over my household finances for the month of February. It was a pretty quiet month for us since the weather was pretty nasty like most of the US and the stock market was relatively flat before dropping at the end of the month. But before we get to how our investments are doing, let's check out the rest of our finances and then we'll get into our investments. In the month of February, we brought in two paychecks for the amounts of $1,803 and $1,786. The first check had a little bit of overtime, but the second paycheck is the amount my paycheck would be with only hitting 40 hours, or rather 80 hours, since I get paid bi-weekly. You can see that in total we had $3,589 hitting our checking account for the month of February. Now let's see what our expenses were. February was pretty quiet for us in terms of expenses because for the most part we were stocked up on what we needed and we did not want to get out in the weather, so we tried to stay home as much as we could. Our mortgage payment was $1,595. This amount includes all principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Currently we're making the minimum payment since we have a pretty low interest rate and it just makes more sense for us to put our money to work in other places. Along with the mortgage, we paid $135 for water, trash, and waste. This is right at our prior year average of what we were spending for this category. I expect this to go up as the weather starts to warm up and we have to water the lawn more in the upcoming months. For groceries, we spent $275 for the month. This is nearly $190 below our prior year average of $463. As I mentioned at the top, we tried to only go out when we had to, and we were pretty stocked up to start the month, so that helped us come in well under our average spending. For our electricity, we spent $197.98. Our electric bill is a bit higher than our prior year average, but that prior year average number accounts for when we were in an apartment, so it doesn't truly reflect the correct amount. Also, our house is all electric, so that certainly pushes up our bill. For internet, we paid $80.41. We only have two providers in our area, so that's pretty average for what we have. I'm always keeping an eye out to see if one of the providers offers a special rate, but for now, it is what it is. For our cell phone, we spent $137.32. This is for two cell phones with unlimited data. We put our usual $150 towards our insurance savings account to save up for when the 6-month premium becomes due, which should be sometime next month, so we'll expect to see that hit the credit card in next month's video. For gas, we're still not driving a lot with working from home and trying to stay home as much as possible because of the ongoing pandemic, but we did have to fill up one of our cars, so we spent $36 on that. We made our usual car payment, and you'll see a little later, we're nearly done paying off this loan, so I'll be glad to see when this is no longer on our spreadsheet. For our miscellaneous expenses, I'll scroll over to our credit card transactions that I have copied in from the website. As you can see, we ate out twice and spent $47 on fast food and restaurants. We had a nice little dinner for Valentine's Day, and we went out one other time during the month. We also spent $286 for some items around the house. This was for tools and just things we needed around the house. Also, we spent $4.16. You can see that was just a couple times when we had to scan some tax documents and print off copies of things. So with those three things, you can see we spent $338 on miscellaneous. Altogether, you can see we spent just over $3,300 in the month of February, leaving us with $250 left over. I just want to point out this does not mean that we only had $250 in our checking account. As we will see below in the next section, we always keep a buffer, and since we're down to one income, we've been hoarding cash, so this month we will add $250 to that amount. If you remember, our prior month ended at $8,917, so after paying our mortgage, car payment, insurance, and the paychecks that were listed above, and making our credit card payment of $1,787, and plus a $824 transfer, we ended at $9,409 in our checking account. We normally don't keep this much cash in our checking account, but like I said, we're just holding on to as much cash as we can right now, instead of making our usual transfers to our various savings accounts that you see here. Once we get back to 2 incomes, we'll get this back to normal. For our house fund, we took out the $825 from that account and moved it over to our checking account to help pay for some of the house items that I previously mentioned. It was the $286 that was on our credit card that you just saw, and then $538 for a furniture purchase that we made last month. So that account ends at $16,932. Our emergency fund ended at $11,643. I think that this amount would last us about 4 months or so if we lost all of our income streams that we currently have. For insurance, we always transfer $150 each month to cover our 6-month premium when that becomes due. So this account has $901 in it, but our 6-month premium will renew next month, so I'm glad that we have this money set aside for that. For our travel account, we didn't put any money into that, so that account ends at $3,430. I'll be glad whenever we can use some of this and travel. For our future purchases, we also didn't put any money into that account, and that account ends at $10,835. This account we're just saving up for a down payment for a car, and then also to replace a laptop and a cell phone whenever those become needed. So altogether, you can see that we have $53,152 in our various savings accounts. Before we get into our investments, I want to take a moment and say thank you for watching this video, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you can catch the video I'll be releasing in the next week or so that has to do with this mystery tab right down here. I'm hoping it'll be a fun video that's a little different than what I'm currently doing, but I think you'll like it, and it's been fun to put this video together. Alright, let's dive into our investments. For our first 401k, the employer contributed $347 as company match, and we put in $396 for a total of $743 going into this account. This fund passed into 6 digits for a few days, but ultimately ended at $98,465. Our second 401k ended at $17,666. Even with the market going down at the end of the month, this account managed to get positive returns because this is one of the only investment accounts that we have that has a little bit of bonds in it since it's a target date fund. So that is why it's up during a down month and while we did not contribute to it at all. For our IRAs, we stopped contributing until we get back to 2 incomes. So those accounts ended at $48,204. and $46,261. We didn't throw any money into the HSA, so that account ended at $16,276. For our brokerage account, we also didn't contribute to this at all, so that account ends at $31,099. We never contribute to this lending club account, but since we're slowly taking money out of it, this account stands at $162. We didn't put a whole lot into the market this month, so with the market staying pretty flat and then dropping right at the end of February, our investments pretty much reflect that. The only reason we have a positive amount is because of the contribution and the bonds that are in these 2 accounts. So as you can see, our investments went up nearly 0.5% compared to last month. Now let's look at our assets and our debts. Even though Zillow is valuing our house just over $315,000, I'll be valuing our house in these spreadsheets at $300,000. This is the value we paid for the house, so for now I'm keeping it at that value just to be conservative. For our car, like I mentioned above, we made our usual car payment of $388.89, and that loan is outstanding at $1,111. I think we only have 4 or so payments left, so I'm looking forward to having this paid off this summer. With our mortgage payment, our mortgage is outstanding at $237,195. As you can see, with all of our information for the month entered, we come to a net worth just under $373,000, which is only $1,600 more than where we were last month. It's been a pretty flat month in the market, so I'm just glad to see our net worth continue to go up, even if it's only 0.5%. I'll end this video here with a little graph of our net worth and just how it's changed over the past 12 months. It might be a little hard to tell, but in the last 12 months, our net worth has gone up almost $140,000. I don't say that to brag, but I just want to show how that with consistent investing and living below your means, it can have a huge impact on your net worth. And also the stock market going up helps too. If you enjoy content like this and seeing how I track our finances, please hit that like button and comment below with any questions you might have, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.